Hey there, teachers, students, YouTubers. I'm going to be scrolling through a new memo to faculty, it's called. It starts with some interesting AI art coming from our USAOS theme OS operating system. Connotations of government, cyberness, feedback loops, cybernetics. And this memo, again, is my faculty is a dispersed, it's a concept, it kind of links to my global university concept. I'm assuming that there's a diaspora, like call it New Palestine University. It's all around the world. People looking for a new beginning in some ways. And I'm saying, this stuff is still available, lots of low hanging fruit. I've been hanging around with a lot of people who are into this literature, but most of them avoid doing anything with the math. They're like into the memes, but not into the math. There's a couple years ago, let's see, by now, new biography of Buckminster Fuller by Alec Navallo Lee. It's a little bit of the math, but not much. And I think a lot of our assessment of the relevance and importance of this guy's contributions to humans making a breakthrough has to do with, do we even understand the basics, like the 101 of the math? And that would be the synergetics constant, which is what this paper is about. And again, you won't have a lot of competition. People say they're into Bucky, but unless they can tell you what the synergetics constant is and what it's about, I would say skepticism is warranted. There's a lot of kind of imposters, I would say. They pretend they're into the Bucky stuff, but they aren't really. They just want to have a hitch a ride, kind of piggyback. So rest assured, you won't be that far behind if you jump on this now. It's like a lot of times when you look at a new body of knowledge, it's like, what's the point? There's already, PhDs doing this, and it'll take me a long time to catch up. And there's no proven remunerations stream. Now, there's a lot of Python in the way I do it, teach this stuff. So you will, if you do the School of Tomorrow curriculum, pick up on some programming. Like if you're waiting for AI to do your programming, I would say that's going to be a long wait. A lot of disaster out there. People doing AI thinking they're learning something. It's horrible. Now I use AI and I like using AI both for text and for graphics. I think it has its uses, but as a crutch, that just means you're disabled, really, if that's how you use it, which you don't have to be, especially if you still have the mind, right? Not saying everyone does. So let's go on and, you know, study this stuff in earnest at some point. I'll be joining you from time to time, but it doesn't take me to be there for this to make sense. And that's why I'm just making sure the information is all hyperlinked and pristine. You've got your Python code, and you've got your clear explanations, and you've got your payoff here, which is why, why? Well, it's a whole different approach to volume, you could say. Something that it makes sense to a sixth grader. Why we would go this route, you can explain it almost at any age level. What's harder to explain is why nobody's into this. And it's, to me, it's a measure of the groupthink that we're up against, right? It really is pretty desolate out there, especially among people who could make a difference but just don't have the time, I guess. Pretty interesting, the situation we're in with the, people want a war against Russia, but they don't want to learn any math. Interesting.